What's up, everybody? It's Noah. To the right of me is your boy.
DJ.
Is that where you got? Yeah, go ahead.
My name is DJ Changling. Yes, that is my alias for today, for tonight.
Well, hey, you're a recurring character at this point, so might as well have a good name.
What's up?
Um, we're gonna start out the show while we let everyone inside. Uh, DJ, tell us your thoughts about the season, and I hear you have a good hot take about Calvin Ridley.
Well, we can get to the Calvin really at the end, but I just want to go over the season. You know what I'm saying? Just go over what we thought about, like what game stood out for us. What do you think would come? Well, like you know what I'm saying? What the future holds for next season? Um, I feel like the game that stood out for us would be like, man, I would say the Jets game. The
Mm,
Jets game with Kyle Pitts, and then also the Miami Dolphin game too, as well.
yeah,
I
because that
would
was
say those
the
two
back to
games.
back after the bye.
hmm I would say those two games are what stood out to me. Especially when we, you know, what I'm saying, utilize Kyle Pitts into the offense. I mean, it's dangerous. It's dangerous, man. I'm telling you. When Kyle Pitts goes off and nobody can hold him, like I'm serious. Like next year, he's gonna be a serious threat.
Yeah, we've already seen that. How's it going, William? He's saying Calvin Ridley is gone. Is not a Falcon anymore. Well,
Man.
what do you have to say about that?
Like I said, we can get to the end. We can get to the end. I'll give my take at the end. Can We can wait on the Calvin really take, but we gotta go over the season first.
All right, well, give me just a moment because I'm getting some messages about someone else wanting to come on. So I'm gonna dip out for a second. I'm still gonna be listening. So while we do that, do you have any thoughts about the press conference that was held by Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot?
Some thoughts about the press conference. Man, the press conference. I feel like it's more of a it's a hard it's a headache to listen to. I tell you that, man, because every single time D-Led says something, I feel like I'm about to fall over my chair because it's always something ridiculous. It's not even D-Led. It's like all the reporters as well. It's like the questions they ask, it doesn't get the answer that we need. You know, I feel like it's personal questions for them more than a fan base question, like to get more of a like outside depth more than an inside depth look at the Falcons.
Right. I mean, they were they were beating around the bush on a lot of topics. That's what I felt like, and they really couldn't because of how no nonsense that they both are. I feel like they really couldn't be asked a whole lot of questions.
I feel like it's the
So
same thing with the Patriots too, though. Like Bill Belichick's the same thing. He's like, yo, I'm just gonna give you straight up. Like this is how it is. I'm not gonna give you my game plan, so you know what I'm saying, so that other people can know too. Then what's the point of you know what I'm saying game planning for a season if my secret is out?
right, got call on Tyrone. He's actually going to be tuning in. Hopefully, I did send him the link to the stream, so we're good on that. Dominic, how's it going? He's saying at least the Falcons is improving or are improving, something like that. Improving, yeah. Let's go with that. Um,
How would you say that they're improving, Noah?
well, when we take a look at each game, the one thing that strikes me is not so much that we were consistent in the close battles. I did feel like we can trust ourselves when it came to tight games. Being that we were 7-2, but it also is like we can show that we're good in facets of the game when we really try to. And with the roster that we have, that says a lot right there. Knowing that we have a roster that was like a couple of people were just literally picked off the street and were giving us good performances, that says a lot about the coaching staff, but that also says a lot about, that our offseason like acquisitions and trying to be better, they started right away and they started actually before the season ended. So that's a good sign to know because being a general manager right now, you're gonna have to work on a bunch of different things, and it's COVID, so like you got to worry about like people getting on the list and other injuries and stuff. So it's like depth is always an issue. But I think Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith they've handled everything extremely well. So with that in mind, let's get Tyrone on here. How's it going?
What is,
Good to see you.
what is guys, man? What is up? You know, I just want to, give my opinion about that press conference.
Go ahead.
I'll put it like this: these guys are not gonna BS us about anything. And they're not gonna give you a headline because like you can tell these guys, like you can look at D-Led and look at these guys that want the headline and they'll keep asking the same question like 3 or 4 times in different ways. And it just is tiring for them because you saw Arthur really snap on D-Led because
Right.
D-Led, he just asked the same question like 3 different times. And he's like, bro, what do you not understand? So, and the reporters like to be in the numbers. Like they go numbers based. Like, and that's why he said, I could be second in passing and be 0-15. What does that do for me? Like, I can, you can be like, let's think about this. You could have the league leading sack, like this, the best sack leader of all time. Like imagine if TJ Watt did this his season now and the Pittsburgh Steelers didn't make the playoffs. Like
that really could have happened too.
I mean, we're looking at the Colts right now. They have the Jonathan Taylor. They have the best
really
offensive line in the league. They have probably the better wide receiver core than the freaking Falcons right now.
Well, I mean, every team can say that basically.
Every team,
so.
Yet they're out of the playoffs.
And that's the thing about it. Like, your talent doesn't matter if you don't win. No. Or numbers don't matter if you don't win. And that's the worst part about these reporters, especially in Atlanta, because it's really only Atlanta reporters that really drive that stuff home. Because even Michael Rothstein came on there. Oh, yeah, you look at these numbers and this number, and it's just like,
right.
We didn't win. We won. Look, we won 7 games. We won as many games as you could have. And that's why I think, Terry said himself, like, you can look at the point differential and all of that, but it doesn't matter because we didn't win those games. Like, we set a good foundation. I believe in Terry. I believe in Arthur. These guys set a great foundation for this team. But you can't say, okay, well, you were 30th in sacks, or you were the worst. You got sacked the most times. What did you
think the Steelers care about that kind of stuff? Like,
you think any other team thinks about that? Like,
no.
Football is a non-analytic sport. As much as people love to break down analytics, football is the only sport you can't really use analytics for. Like,
I think the Chargers head coach is learning that the hard way.
Yeah, he learned that. He learned it the hard way. Like, he came in there being an analytic guy, and everybody. I remember people were hyping him up, like, "Oh, why didn't the Falcons interview this guy? Why didn't they interview him?" And you saw the only coach that made it was Nick Sirianni. Only new first-year head coach that made the playoffs was Nick Sirianni. Everybody else, really and truly, didn't have great seasons. Salah didn't have a great season. And, people's like, oh, the Jets are going to turn around. They didn't turn around. Like, Arthur Smith had one of the best turnarounds, I think, out of all head coaches besides Sirianni. And even still, we should have beat the Eagles that game. We just weren't – it didn't look like we were prepared. So – it would have been a great game. It was still team didn't look right. But every other team we played this year was close. It wasn't a blowout. Dallas was the only game we got blown out. I count as a blowout was Dallas. Because in that game was just we lost momentum and couldn't gain it back.
The Patriots game too.
Like certain like the Tampa Bay game. Matt,
the Tampa Bay game, I give it to Matt because he do come in. I want to win this shit, but then the defense let us down in the second half, and it's just like
it's always that's the problem. Somebody in my job asked me a question. They were like, "Yeah, man, are y'all gonna get rid of Matt Ryan and this and that?" And he was like, then he thought about it. And was like, "Well, man, you really can't get rid of him." I said, "There's not a quarterback class, that's really good." And he was like, yeah, that worked. He was like, you're telling the truth. I said, it's going to be some years before we really go and get a quarterback because the only quarterback, there's not a lot of true passing quarterbacks. Everybody wants to run. everybody wants to be Michael Vick. Everybody wants to be, like Josh Allen or like these.
Because Joe Burrow is like a throwing. He's a throwing machine, man.
Yeah, he's like the only one out of these last couple years.
Trevor Lawrence too. I mean, not everybody want to be a mobile quarterback in the league right now. They want to be in the pocket. They want to throw it. You know what I'm saying? They want to resort to the last move to run it. Yeah, of course, but you know what I'm saying? Matt Ryan is he's not the perfect pitcher to paint out, but I would say like Carson Wentz is still a pocket passer. Shoot.
I was gonna say like okay, Tom Brady,
but
Justin Herbert.
Herbert, yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is still running his last resort. Justin Herbert, like a lot of those guys are still want to run their last resort, but I don't think it's a quarter like this year's quarterback class. Those guys
I might even throw Kyler Murray in that pile too, because I think his when the Cardinals were on their best stretch, that's when he wasn't running as much.
Right. He's a pocket. He got to stay in the pocket, but he just can't look. He can't see nothing over.
He's short. That's the only thing about him is that he's real short. So he has to be that. So like you want to give these guys, like this next quarterback class, and I love all the quarterbacks in this quarterback class. Matt Corral can sling the ball as deep as anybody. Kenny Pickett can sling the ball as anybody.
You say we should take a quarterback in the first round?
No.
In your
what a headline!
No, I want Jordan Davis. If anybody, or Nakobe Dean. I'm a Georgia homer, but even still, I want those two or Jumbo. But
so not Matt Carroll. You don't want a new fresh quarterback just sitting right behind me.
Just sitting behind. Look, just sitting behind.
You don't want another Matt behind a Matt, just like we did with Matt.
Sit behind him. You know what I'm saying? Learn from the Matt.
No, I think you can learn. I think look at. Now I don't want to be Pittsburgh. I don't want to be Pittsburgh and Ben Roethlisberger's retiring.
When has Pittsburgh ever produced another quarterback that could take over Ben's position?
Then that's what I'm saying. I don't want to be Pittsburgh. I don't want to be the team that didn't develop a quarterback to be the next starter.
No other team has done it. I mean, we looked at the Cardinals when Kurt Warner was playing, and then they drafted Matt Leinart.
Yep.
The Heisman winner. We're not gonna say Matt Leinart was not a great player. He's a Heisman winner. Come on, now he came in. He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna learn behind Kurt Warner," and he came in and he just stunk. From the moment he played, the moment he touched that football, he stunk. And it was just like, wow, they wasted a first-round pick on Matt Leinart. Now imagine we wasted a first-round pick on a person like, I would say like Justin Fields. But you know what I'm saying? Thank God we didn't do that. But I'm just saying, there's no point of having a quarterback sit behind Matt Ryan when we can use the draft pick to give Matt Ryan weapons and then a future for the next quarterback to have as well. Kyle Pitts is going to be out of his contract at the age of 24. Man, that's a very young age to give him a six-year extension right there. And then Matt Ryan's contract ends like maybe around the middle of his contract right there. So the new quarterback come in, we just got to worry about having a pass protection for the new quarterback.
Yeah, I think I think these next couple years, and Matt Ryan did an interview. I enjoyed his interview. He did like an off the record. I forgot thinking the actual website. I think it was like off the record or something. And they asked him like wide receivers or O line, and he said O line. Like he said it himself. Like he said O line. I was like, well, you understand. You understand his struggle. You're 30 something years old. You're getting hit 100 times a game. Like you're getting hit 10, 50. We play 17 games.
And he's still slinging it.
And he's still swinging it. Like, you're
the most hit quarterback in the league, and you're still slinging it with no injuries this whole entire year.
Which is crazy. Like his body, people always want to talk about how strong Brady is.
Kyler Murray, if he was hit that many times, I bet you he wouldn't be able to finish the season.
You see Lamar got hit so many times this year, he couldn't finish the season with an ankle injury. So, and he's supposed to be the most mobile quarterback in the league. So it doesn't matter if your O-line is bad. Your O-line is bad. It don't matter if you can run or not. Like you got to build a team around. Like my thing is, you build a team to when you draft the backup quarterback for Matt. Like that's what you have to do in these next couple years. Like you got to.
He said it the best. He said, I'm going to take the best player available. It doesn't matter. We need this position. I'm just going to take the best player available.
Did anyone else kind of take that phrase as like, you know what, we could take the best player available because we got needs basically everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah. That's how I saw it.
You really can't go wrong.
We can't go wrong. I swear, we go Kyle Hamilton, man. We fix like half the issue of the defense. We get a defensive player on the D line like Ojabo or Jordan Davis or Leo or I don't care who it is.
Hey,
man.
even if we were to draft like another linebacker, it would make sense because of the contracts that are going to be coming up. So it's like
I will go with Dean too from Georgia. That you know what I'm saying? That would definitely fill the need if Floyd wants
so deep. So I had a discussion. Like everybody was like, well, if you look at Jalen Mayfield, he talked about best player available and all that. I said we don't know what their best player available is. Like you go off of like PFF and you go off of these grades and stuff, but we don't know their board. Like
because our draft was definitely way off. I didn't know who Drew Dalman was. Who the hell is Drew Dalman?
Nobody like I had a guy that does draft and he was like, man, you got like the best center out the draft. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, bro, I loved him. And you get stuff like that, you be like, okay, so everybody's draft board is going to be different. I don't think we're gonna trade Ridley for a veteran O lineman. I think
it's a bit of a tough task to ask.
Yeah, you can't get an for a receiver like that. The NFL kind of sort of different. Like if you look at when they trade O linemen, they usually trade you picks. Like it's gonna be a pick or something. Like Ridley's gonna be if we get a first round for Ridley,
I'll be shocked.
I would be ecstatic. I'd be ecstatic, but I think we're gonna get like a Julio type trade, which would be crazy. Add
he's younger.
Yeah, he is younger. So and he has productive years. That's what I'm saying. Like
he had a very good productive year before he went out. I swear on everything. If we should just keep Ridley.
You heard how Terry said like we don't have any. Like somebody asked, I think it might have been it was either Mike or D. It was one of them guys. It was like, so what do you like for draft wise? What do you expect? Like, what do you do with Ridley? And he said, well, we don't have a discussion on that. Like, we haven't got any details about it, but we draft best player available. He was really kind of saying like, I might keep him, I might not. That was kind of sort of how I got from that. Like, we're going.
Well, the other thing to catch from that too was when he said we've done everything we can in order to help him and support him.
Yeah.
Keyword we have past tense.
Yeah. Like if you telling me, so he basically was telling you like we've done our best, and if he can't accept our best, then he doesn't really need to be here. That's kind of sort of how he said it. Like we've done our best.
Now, well, we tried, guys. I mean,
yeah, like we tried.
Hey, look, I'm looking at the numbers right now with Ridley. All right, we're gonna go over the numbers before he left. Let me see here. He had four catches for 26 yards and a touchdown against the Miami Dolphins. A game that we, you know what I'm saying, it was a very great game. You know what I'm saying, and Kyle Pitts, he went off in that game, and it showed how explosive our offense could be. Awesome. Washington, 7 catches, 80 yards. We lost that game because defense fucked up that game. New York Giants, 8 catches, 61 yards. Tampa Bay, 7 catches, 63 yards, and a touchdown. Philly, 5 catches, 51 yards. Are those mediocre numbers? Are those numbers that, you know what I'm saying, Taj Sharps can produce? Are those numbers that, you know what I'm saying,
what are Taj Sharps' numbers?
Taj Sharps numbers?
You keep mentioning him, and I'm like, dude, I don't even know if he has a catch this season.
He got one.
I don't remember a single thing about him.
The last catch he had was against the Carolina Panthers. It was 1 catch for 7 yards.
Exactly.
But if we keep Ridley, he how much is his contract? Like $8 million. We go out, we go pay another receiver.
I think maybe it's 11 million for the 5th year option.
I think it's 11 years. It's 11
if it applies.
I think I don't think he can get the 5th year though, because he didn't play 6. I don't think he played 6 games, did he?
No, he was in 5.
Yeah, so I don't think we
Oh,
can.
yeah.
We don't have to pay his 5th year. I don't think because he didn't play his 4th year.
So
he's still gonna be under the rookie deal then.
So let's say we do trade him away. He's a great option for the other team. We pay some other receiver to come in that had one big year. You know what I'm saying? Just because he had one big year during his proven contract, we bring him in. All of a sudden, boom, he's just ass. What happens then? Like we wasted just so much for what? I don't know. I'm just saying, if really you stood here, you're still a great liable option. But if he's
Lucha Grundy in the comments, he said, "I like to keep Ridley, but I don't want to keep anyone that doesn't want to be here."
Yeah, I understand that. Now, if he doesn't want to be here,
you know, we've seen the signs. You know, no update every week. It's hard to get him back to having people root for him.
I mean, he told you it's mental health, and he just it's personal issue. Like, do you have? If you want to tell your personal issue right now, you're in the live chat, bro. Go right ahead. And then I'll be like, wow, that's amazing. Now we know your secret. Like, why would really want to tell his secret to the world? Like,
he doesn't have to tell us the secret. You know, just a quick update, an emoji, something to signify that he's doing okay.
Leave me alone for a little bit. Maybe I need to disconnect.
At least say that then. At least say, hey guys, leave me alone.
You know what I'm saying? Like a mind, like what do you call those mind, like, maybe, you know, he's trying to find himself or something. I don't know. He's trying to disconnect.
In the middle of the season?
I want to put it like this.
Hey, look, COVID happened, and
he wants to find himself an hour before the Panthers game.
Yeah, he went to go find himself an hour
on Halloween.
Hey,
look, kidding me?
Just saying, we just gotta respect the guy and not know, because I'm not trying to throw accusations out there, from not trying to put some you know what I'm saying, words into his mouth that he didn't say. Like, he didn't even say like he wanted a fresh start. That came from a radio host. Like, come on.
Yeah, I think the only thing I didn't like Cookie said, you know, all you did, like, we didn't hear from you for months, like 2 months straight, and then you go on Snapchat and post your stats.
That's something that his cousin posted it up. How you know that his cousin is just like account? You know what I'm
somebody
saying?
just had this Snapchat account and posted
it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could be anything. I don't know. It could be
still at that point. It's just like,
that's why
you're sounding more Skip than Shannon right now. I'm just gonna say that.
Look, no, that's why I look deeply into the picture. I said I'm gonna look deeply into the picture. That's why I pulled up the stats. That's why I said, hey, look at the stats. He did so well before he left, and I don't know, mate. I don't know what he was dealing with. Just saying, just like a lot of shit happens. COVID happens, and you know,
I like that comment. If you go back to it about Darby, I think. Like if you go watch Darby's film, Darby isn't the greatest route runner. No. And we know this. Yeah, he's a straight vert guy.
Yeah, he's a dude, just throw it up and I'll try to go get it.
Yeah, and we know this offense is very complex. Like, we do a lot of route running and stuff like that. Yeah, so I'm not gonna say, you know, well, we should have still thrown him out there. He's gonna have to learn. Like, he could
have been used, but
yeah. He made a great special teams though. Like, he was good on special teams.
Right. No, he made a mistake. Remember?
Yeah, that player.
Well,
nah.
If it's a mistake, I'll take it. If it's like several mistakes, all right, you got to go. And that's
so like Mike Davis or Russell Gage.
Well, Gage is fine.
Gage is fine. We forgiving him for those fumbles.
Let's not even bring that up. Let's not even bring that up. I think.
Look,
I think Mike Davis is most hated right now. I think Mike Davis came in and hyped us up, like, yeah, I'm gonna go crazy. And then, you know,
he runs like he's blindfolded. Like, I don't understand. Like, he can't just, like, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Work his way through the hole, but he just like literally just like tries to muscles his way through everything, and it just doesn't work.
He doesn't have a lot of shiftiness. Like, he's really big.
Kamara was doing the best. Look, I was like, wow, Kamara was like, he was like, you know what I'm saying, being patient behind the line, and then he was like, boom, I'm gonna hit this hole right there. And I was like, dang.
Well, you remember Le'Veon Bell in his prime. I think everybody was Le'Veon
Yeah.
Bell in his prime.
Yeah,
He
just
was
wait,
just waited. Like he had the best. Le'Veon Bell had probably the best weight and releases I've ever seen. Like him and Kamara really work on that. But like when you go back and watch Le'Veon Bell in Pittsburgh, like he would really just hop, and then just take off as soon as he saw the hole. Like it's kind of crazy. You know, Mike Davis just wants to. He's a big power back. Like he should have been a third down back. Like at this point, like he's a third down back at this point. Like you got 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. He's just gonna throw his body at the line and push through. Like he doesn't have a lot of sympathy.
You don't got blockers for that though.
Yeah, that's true.
Hennessy still.
One that I do want to get to. Have you guys checked up on some of the recent acquisitions that they've made
with the Canadian football players?
Yeah, Deandre Alford. I don't know if you guys take a look at him.
He's tough. I like Deandre Alford. He's fun. Like I was looking at his highlights and I was like, oh yeah, he's gonna be great.
He could compete opposite of AJ Terrell as a starter.
Yeah,
if he really works that out.
Yeah,
I think the wide receiver we got. You know, he's from Canada. I mean, like he played at University of Washington. He was good at University of Washington. But the Deandre Alford, he's from Atlanta too, which is crazy.
He made the tweet like 2 years ago saying, "Hey, if you guys need me, I'll be here."
Right.
Yeah. What do you know?
Shit.
I think
usually during the season. No, I'm just joking.
I think for him, I think he has a like. Let's look at Terry's. If you look at Terry's track history,
Canadian football players.
He always was Canadian football players.
Yeah, he looks like
Eric Harris was a Canadian football player before he went to the Saints. The guy that they got Eric Harris on the Saints was a Canadian football player. Like Terry has a history of, you know, like just getting those guys out of those, you know, out of Canada and bringing them. And like Deandre Alford and this was his rookie year in Canada, and he was like amazing. Like he made the All-Star team. Mm-hmm. He won the championship. Like his first pick was a pick 6. So like it's not like he was no scrub up there. And you know, everybody says, "Oh, it's only 3 downs and it's the difference." Like no, like I feel like it's harder to play in Canada because they have like running starts. Like all the wide receivers can just start running it like before the ball's even snapped. Like, and you got to play coverage on that. So I can see that I think he's gonna be straight.
Sure. I hope the CFL player come in and they have that winning mentality like Dean Pease and Arthur Smith always preach. They just say, hey, we need players who are willing to come in and they have that championship mentality. I want players to have that championship mentality too. Like, I don't care if you are like sack leader of the year. Like, if you're just being sack leader of the year just to get that big contract, I mean, like, that's great, but are you in it just to win it, or are you in it for the money?
Vic Beasley. Vic Beasley. Vic Beasley.
I don't know, man. Vic Beasley was just put in position to win, though.
He's in a bad position, though. They ruined Vic Beasley mentally. He just threw him in any position he probably could have. Like he wasn't a hand down type DN, and they just said, "Forget it. We're gonna put you on the hand." Like he really should have been a stand up, like TJ Watt type DN. And yeah, they just kind of sort of, and the same thing with Tack. They did the same thing with Tack, man. Yeah, like
I don't want to bring up Tack. Man, I ain't gonna go out talking shit against the Falcons, man. That's crazy.
He went out and then didn't even perform. Like went out talking and then didn't even perform. Like
oh no, we're gonna miss you. Sure.
Fuck that guy, but yeah. Well, I hope the new acquisition. I don't know. I want to see some real acquisition. I want to see them free agents, but that doesn't come up after the Super Bowl, though. So, I mean.
Yeah. Hard to talk about that right now.
But, yeah. What you think? What was your standout game for the Falcons this year?
Like you said, the Jets game. That was a really big game for us. That was Kyle Pitts' breakout game. I think that showed people who Kyle Pitts really was.
Man, when he came into the end zone and was like that, I was like, "Come on, do more of that." But
yeah,
he's always getting triple teamed though.
I mean, and that goes back to Calvin, not being here because he made people triple coverage Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
you couldn't double team both of them on the field. But when you look at all they got is Russell Gage and Olamide Zaccheaus at wide receiver and Taj Sharp. We might as well just cover Kyle Pitts with 5 people. Like this is how it is. Like that's your only weapon. So
Man, how are
that's
you
what
not gonna
makes
get
it.
open when no one's covering you? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
He's 5'8". He's like there to like just you know what I'm saying. Oh man, it's so
Special
bad.
teams. He was really undrafted. He was an undrafted special teams player. And then we was like, you know what? We don't have no other wide receivers. Throw him out there. And it was just like, bro, oh my
It's
God.
crazy because Ryan has the best connection with OZ better than Gage.
Which is crazy. That's the crazy part about it. Like, I mean, I think, some players take Matt as who he is. Like, people take Matt, like Cordell. Cordell knows who Matt is. Like, he loves Matt. Everybody that plays for this team should have an appreciation for Matt because of what he's done throughout the years.
Hell yeah.
But
four different coordinators. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's a lot of but I think the biggest standout game was the Saints win. I think that was our biggest game. I think beating them in New Orleans and that being Arthur Smith's first, NFC South win with the Saints. Like, and we hate the Saints like that. I told my sister the Saints man. I said I can go 2-16 as long as we beat the Saints twice.
Right. That's what I said. I was like, I just want to beat the Saints. I mean the Aints.
Yeah, the Aints. But we sat there and we went to New Orleans and won that game, and I think that really put us, that gave us like a little bit of a spark because that made you see like, okay, we can compete in our own division and win, and we beat Carolina. And we like, okay, we can win in this division. And the only team we didn't beat was Tampa, and we really should have won those games. We really should have won that first Tampa game. Yeah. So, you have to realize like this team is poised to win next year as long as you add the right pieces.
Right.
Like, if you add the right pieces, you win next year.
You need the right pieces. Hopefully, we could trade for some pieces. I don't know. If we could trade Ridley for a first round pick, I'm down for a first round pick for Ridley. You know what I'm saying? I want to have the talent that's in this draft right now is just unbelievable. Like we can go either way. We can like go so many ways with this one pick, but we can have 2 options. That'll be better. I mean, like, oh my gosh, but hopefully, really does stay though. I just think it's still a liable option for us in the offense.
I think going into next year though, like you can be like, okay, you're like, okay, Ridley, let's, I don't know how teams will cover Ridley because of what he did this year. Like, some teams might just not respect him anymore and be like, oh, you didn't even want to play last year. Like stuff like that. And even Cordell, when Cordell came out and said, if you don't play for Arthur Smith, you're dumb. Like that was a very telling tweet. That was a very telling, statement. Like, okay, so there's something else going on. Like, I think
if they don't re-sign CP, I will burn down the stadium myself.
Yeah, and I will record it behind a bus.
Yes,
behind the bus. That's funny. I want to. I don't know if you can go to that comment, Noah, but about Mayfield. I don't have a problem with Mayfield.
From Cookie or from
not
Shane?
Cookie. Shane. He said Mayfield better not be here next year.
Well, he's got no choice. He's as a rookie.
How you just gonna cut a rookie?
You can't cut a rookie. And he signed a 4-year, 5-year. Well, it's 5, but
that would ruin us.
I think for him, he hasn't, like Cookie said, like he hasn't had a full year at left guard. I think if y'all remember his draft, he was drafted supposed to be a right tackle.
Right. He's a right
tackle. And then out of nowhere, they were like, "Oh, we're gonna put you at left guard."
Because Gano got hurt, and then Andrews got hurt, and then
Andrews broke his knee. Gano, what was his back or something like that happened to him? I can't even remember what the injury was. But this team, you gotta think like if he is the starting left guard, he has to, like he played right. Like he said in his draft interview, well, yeah, I've been working on both sides. But you think, okay, like I played O-line my whole life. when you play, I play center, so I had to be both. Like I had to use both hands. I snap with my right hand, but you still have to be like good with your left hand because if you're not, you gonna get blown up.
Right.
Like,
And
you
I play
still gotta
guard,
use
so
your
I
left
gotta.
hand. Yeah, I still gotta press. I still gotta.
DJ, you ain't did nothing. DJ, you ain't did nothing. Stop lying. Stop lying. You ain't got a lie. Man might got a bone to pick. Man might got a bone to pick. Excuse me for being rude for just a second. I won't be long. I'm about to lay it down. All right, I don't have my rant today, but this guy DJ, he's been talking a lot of trash to your boy Mad Mike. What's going on, DJ?
I have not.
You remember? You remember that little back and forth that we had? What's going on, DJ?
We had a good one back and forth about Aiden Hutchinson.
Is this Mad Mike?
Yeah, you already know it.
We had a good little conversation about Aiden Hutchinson. That was like we woke up. We woke up and we just started. We just kind of bumped heads all morning. Like it didn't stop a little bit. We was going about Aiden Hutchinson. I mean, I ain't never been. Me and Mike have never argued, but that was one time. Like we, like because I don't know. I think because I Aiden Hutchinson so high on my draft board, and we just went back and forth for a good. It had to be like a good 30 minutes just going back and forth about Aiden Hutchinson.
As everybody know about me, I am the last person when it comes down to I don't like to make assumptions based off college career. That's a dangerous thing to do, especially with college prospects. We've seen so many players fall to the height. We can go back to Desmond Howard, and yes, I brought up Desmond Howard. Done. All right. He was supposed to be this legendary a wide receiver, and he ended up being absolutely nothing. We can go. We can go through Ryan Leaf. Let's keep on going. We can just keep on. Jameis Winston. We can. How many times?
Matt Leinart. We talked about Matt Leinart.
Matt Leinart. He was supposed to. Reggie Bush was supposed to be this legendary guy when he got to the NFL. All right, so it's time and time again. I've seen this over and over again. So it's no slight against Aiden. I think he'll be a good player, but I just don't like jumping the gun on players, man.
Yeah, I understand it. I think I've watched him, like I said, I've watched him like all year, and I was like, I'm not letting this guy. Like, he had.
I said the same thing about Devontae Freeman. I said the same thing about Isaiah Oliver. I thought Isaiah Oliver was going to be an all-pro. What the fuck I look like? Okay,
hey, that's still pending.
That's still pending. So he could have been an all-pro this year as good as he was.
He could have.
I think this year injuries hurt us this year. Like we don't talk about the injuries we had in COVID, but like this team really got decimated at the wrong time. Like we was winning the games and then.
We say that, but then like there was a chart put up, and like we were like the least injured team.
Team in the league and stuff like that. I saw that.
There were major injuries though. Major injuries.
Like the people that weren't here, that had like the worst possible value for us.
Calvin really staying, man. I'm telling you.
I mean, technically, Calvin really didn't get hurt, but he injured this fucking team. He put us on fucking IR. Let's just keep it real. He put this whole team on IR.
Calvin really hurt the offense a lot. Like, imagine if we had Calvin really with his offense. What it might have looked like. That might have opened the run game up. We don't know.
He posted up the pick. He's reminding y'all, look, man, look what I can do. Look what I can do.
That's not the way to do it, though.
Man, you know what I'm saying? Look at the stats. Look at my stats, man. Look at the past 3 years I've been with the Falcons. Nothing but greatness. 1,300 yards under Dirk. That's crazy.
I wish he would say that if I was sitting there. I would have smacked the hell out of him for even tweeting that.
Marlon Davidson was on that row. That Marlon Davidson, that injury hurt. I think we're gonna go. You gotta go. You gotta address the D line and you gotta address the corner. Well, I don't know yet because we don't know how to
the best player available. The best player available.
It doesn't matter if this team because if we pick best player available at that number 8 position, it really doesn't matter. I made the bold claim that it's gonna be at least three defensive like DNs like pass rush guys taken in the first 10 picks.
I say
It's gonna be at least three.
Either Stingley or Hamilton.
Yeah, like I'm saying, like either way, you're not picking a bad prospect. This is crazy. Like we're at number 8, you really at best player available are really getting some guys that should be, in another draft might be 1 or 2. Like it's stuff like that with this draft class. Like we're going to be in a good spot, no matter how you look at it, no matter how you put it. We're in a good spot at number 8 because we know those first 7 picks are going to be just, going to be with the teams they have in the first 7 are going to be long shots because those teams take long shots. They always take.
It's still an offensive league, and I just think I just don't trust general managers. I just think they're going to fall in love with a quarterback, fall in love with a running back, a quarterback, wide receiver, and they're going to do something out of the blue. I can't until they prove me wrong. These general managers with the offensive players, I like Wilson Zach Wilson had no business being a top 5 quarterback. Let's just keep it real. He never had that type. But being that he was in this draft and they needed a quarterback, they took a guy that they thought that had talent. And when you go look at his tape, he wasn't that great of a thrower to begin with.
He was playing against Christians. He was playing against the Christian league. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. He didn't play he didn't play in like the SEC or the ACC or
the guys that are short 5'8" corners. You know what I'm saying?
So,
right.
He wasn't playing no NFL. You know what I'm saying? Ready school. They were all playing. Where's BYU? Like who were they playing against?
Utah. The only team they really played good was like Utah, and Utah still wasn't even as good as they were this year. So, like Utah should have won the Rose Bowl this year. Their quarterback got hurt and he couldn't finish. But let's think about that. You think about like Zach Wilson. Like I told people this. People fall in love with Mel Kiper. They fall in love with Todd McShay. They fall in love with all these draft with Bucky Brooks, all of those guys. They'll be like, oh, well, Bucky said this, or Todd said this, or Mel Kiper said this. And they use that as their motive to say that's who we should go get because they said this. I believe in them.
I feel like their draft board is just like whatever these guys said. That's the law. That's the 4 commandments.
Hey, but they weren't wrong about Kyle Pitts, though. You know what I'm saying? They weren't wrong about that.
I mean, he destroyed Georgia. So I don't. That's all. That's all the film that you needed. He absolutely abused Georgia, and Kirby is already one of the best defensive coordinators in the history of college football. And yes, I did say that he's one of the greatest of all time. I dare you to go back and watch anybody that has done it better than Kirby. Kirby has done it at Alabama. He's doing it at Georgia. Everywhere Kirby has been, he's been a top defensive coordinator. So I dare anybody to do it. And Kyle Pitts destroyed that defense. He had no clue what to do with Kyle Pitts.
That's scary because as a Georgia fan, we lock up everybody's best receiver. We lock up everybody's best tight end. We usually lock up those guys like those are the guys we key in at. Kyle Pitts was getting double teamed the whole game. It was just mossing folks. Like when you go watch that Georgia game, it was so disrespectful what he was doing to us. Like it just hurt because it was just like Kyle Pitts scored a touchdown. Kyle Pitts scored another touchdown. Kyle Pitts with a 30-yard reception. Kyle Pitts with a 20-yard reception. Kyle Pitts with a 10-yard. Like it was just like, can they stop saying his name? Like it was bad. Like it was just bad because he just kept doing it. Like you couldn't stop. It's the same. It was the same thing. Like it was like Bryce Young in the first game versus Georgia. Like they kept saying Bryce Young game. Bryce Young this. Bryce Young threw the touchdown. Bryce Young this. And then you see Kirby in that second game. We don't play Florida but one time a year because that's the East. We don't. And we probably would have played Florida a second time. We probably would have stopped them. but it's just like you can't key in on that guy in a week. Like, and that's why you see certain players, that's why you saw certain teams really push Kyle Pitts in like triple coverage, double coverage, because you can't guard that man. He's 6'5", 6'6", with a 4.340. You're like,
you can't guard him.
Understand how fast a 4.340 is.
You can't guard him.
That means you're running, really and truly, you're running 10 yards in a second. Like that's wild to think about. You ran 10 yards in a second in some milliseconds. You ran 40 yards in 40 seconds in milliseconds.
He just gotta have confidence in his catches, man.
I think him and Matt go work this offseason. I think that's gonna be a big thing for Matt to work on this offseason. And just get some chemistry. You can see it later in the season when him and Matt were on the same page and they started throwing the ball a lot more to him. And I think that's what it's going to take this offseason is, him being in the gym, him getting bigger. I don't really need him to be like Shannon Sharp big. I just need him to, get a little – he's still not even – he's still a kid, though. Like, he's still not – he's like a year older than me. Yeah, like, I'm 20. He's like 21 or 22. Like, bro is a kid. Like, you're not in your grown man body yet. He's still not in his grown man body.
He's still a kid. He's like, what,
so, He's 20.
He's approaching like Jimmy Graham size,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's 21. He just turned 21 because I'm 20. He was the 2018 class. I was the 2019. So yeah, he was like a year ahead of me. So like, bro, like he only like it's the same thing with Brock Bowers. Like if you watch UGA and you watch Brock Bowers all year, you were just like, man, that man is special. Like, and like it's just like you see these guys, they're like 19 and they're running at 4.3s, 4.2s at tight end. These are tight ends now running 4.2s. Right. Wait till you start seeing linemen running like 4.5s. Like this is gonna get crazy. My fastest 40 was a 5.1, and that was when I was like 245. So imagine a lineman being at 2.6. Like imagine Jordan Davis run a sub 4.5, which I think he might.
He does.
Earth is not ready for that.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Jordan Davis.
I think he really is gonna run a sub 4.5. And if he does at that combine, it's gonna be
yeah. Let's take him. Let's take Jordan Davis. Take him. Bring him home.
Everybody saw that. Man. I think everybody. If you watched that UAB game and you saw him literally run from one sideline to the other sideline and catch the quarterback and still tackle him, I said, yeah, that's a ridiculous amount of speed at that size. Like it doesn't even make sense to be 6'7", 375 and running under a 4.5. That's just scary. Like I mean, I can't even think. I can't even think of a well. He said like Trayvon Walker. Trayvon Walker is disgusting. Like bro, Georgia had the fast Kirby, and this I love how Mike said it. Kirby is the best defensive coordinator you'll see in college football. I don't think there'll be anybody you can put above him as defensive coordinator at this point in college football. And shout out Dan Lanning because Dan Lanning had a big part in that. Because even though he's going to Oregon, I saw him when he did his interview and started crying about him having to leave. But just shout out, like these guys, like you think of Kirby and what he's done recruiting wise with these fast kids. Georgia's gonna have a legacy in the NFL in the next couple of years. Georgia's gonna be like Penn State or like Michigan in the next couple of years. And every position is gonna be a kid from like Georgia.
You're forgetting about Jackson State, my guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Getting all them top recruiters.
They got.
So you're saying that Jordan Davis is the best player available?
If he's still there at number 8, I think he is. And if he's still there at number 8, I think he is.
Over Evan Neal?
I put him way up. See, I think if you look at Neal's stats, you'll be like, oh man, he had like 15 sacks and stuff like that. But you have to like Jordan Davis disruption of a game. If you watch national championship game, Alabama could not run the ball. Alabama didn't have. I think they might have had like run for 10 yards. Alabama literally could not run the ball on that front. And you got to think Jordan Davis is right in the middle. Every time you try to run up the middle against Jordan Davis, he's like Bruce Woolfolk-esque, just big and athletic. And you can't
if you watch the game, though, most of the time when they were pass rushing, Evan Neal was holding up his ground, though.
Yeah,
he was not letting up at all. And I was watching Neal. I was like, wow, this kid can pass block, and he's 6'6", and he does a better job than Caleb McGarry.
I think Neal's gonna go top 5 though. I think Evan Neal's gonna go top 5.
Projected to be number 1.
Yeah, he's like he's projected to be number 1 at this point. Like he's one of those like me. I was explaining to Mike earlier about I had three type of linemen. I had bruisers, I had pass pros, and I had reach blockers. Those are my 3. You have your pass pros who are the elite pass protection guys, like the guys that like if you go snap in shotgun, he's gonna protect your quarterback 9 times out of 10. You have your
guy like Tyler Linderbaum.
Yeah, Tyler Linderbaum is a bruiser. I'll give him a bruiser card because he likes to hit people. Tyler Linderbaum likes to hit people. He'll
way better job than Hennessy, I tell you that.
I believe that. And then you have your reach blockers, which is what Hennessy is, and Dahlman. Those guys excel at getting to the second level. When you get those guys to the second level, that's when they turn into those elite. That's when they can turn into a bruiser. That's when they turn. But with this team, you want a bruiser at center. And I think these guys, like we were saying, I think these guys are just too weak. I think Hennessy's not big enough. I don't think Dahlman's big enough yet.
I don't think Hennessy's strong enough. I think he's just weak.
I think this whole offseason is going to be them. These guys got to get in the weight room.
He has 2 offseasons to do it, and he's still going to do it. Like, come on.
Get that, Noah. Get that comment.
Yeah, this is an interesting one from AJ Evans because it's similar along my kind of line of thinking. I'm still on the fence about Jordan Davis. And AJ Evans says Jordan Davis is good for what he is, but he is good for a Chargers that have the pass rushers, not that main guy on a line like the Falcons need. Now, my response to that is whatever we decide to do with the next 2 picks in the second round. If they're both edge rushers, I think that compensates for picking Jordan Davis in the first round. But if we go different positions for both of them, and then we got to wait a little bit more. Is Jordan Davis like the short-term or the long-term answer with this type of pick? What do you guys think?
This is what I said earlier today, and this is where I can make a difference. We're talking about 2 different. There's a team that is looking for that one guy they don't have on the defensive line. They don't have that one main star where you can say, all right, this guy can win one-on-ones. He has the potential to get 10 sacks. We already have that, okay? We're different from most teams that are in the top 10. We already have that guy that could get 10 sacks. So when you're drafting a guy like Jordan Davis, you're not drafting him to be that main star. He's not the main star. Grady is already there. And when you go, like you said, the 3rd, 4th, mid-round picks, you can get those edge guys. You can get a couple of edge guys in free agency that could get you 4 to 5 sacks, 4 to 6 sacks in free agency, or you can trade for a guy. You can bring in a veteran and have a solid rotation, and then next year, you bring in another guy that can add depth to that. So when you look at drafting a guy like Jordan Davis as an Atlanta Falcons versus a team, let's just say the Jets.
For the Broncos or something? I don't know. The
Broncos or something. Yeah, that's just something like that. Now, if you taking Jordan Davis and you putting him on the Broncos, then that pick is a wasted pick in my opinion. So it really depends on the team that you do, that you have, the personnel that you have. For the Falcons, adding a Jordan Davis makes sense because it adds that guy that next to Grady Jarrett. Now, Grady Jarrett, you can move Grady Jarrett around. You can move Foye Oluokun. You can move Dion around. You can move Michael Walker. I don't know what they're going to do with Dante Fowler. Maybe you bring him back and you add a couple of, free agent edge rushers to kind of add, and then you draft a couple of guys. So it's things you can do. So it adds depth and it adds what I call an all-around defensive, all-around defense. You got a guy that can stop the run. You actually got two guys that can stop the run in Grady Jarrett and Jordan Davis. And you have guys like Grady Jarrett. You could come in and kind of do what Dan Quinn like to do, is have a ton of NASCAR packages. Basically, what NASCAR is guys, you just got 3, 4, or 4 defensive ends. They come in, and their job is just to get after the quarterback. So it makes your pass rush and your defensive line much more versatile when you bring in a guy like Jordan Davis. And I think for quite some time, the Falcons have had a pretty I'll just say that defensive line has not been versatile at all.
Okay, my response, and that's similar to what Alex is saying in the chat. So is he the pick at 8? Because what I mean by saying that is we have 2 guys that were picked up on the street in the middle of the season, of Mike Pennell and Anthony Rush Jr., that were kind of told to do the same thing. Now, they're much cheaper versions of them of what Jordan Davis should be, so you got to take that into account. But
are they good?
The upside is that they're going to have a full season now. You know, like they were brought in the middle of the season.
Good though. Yeah, the talent level is completely different. That's the thing. Jordan Davis is.
You're comparing like fine chocolate to like Hershey's Kiss. You know what I'm saying? Come on now.
I'll put it as an old lineman, right? I'll put it as a kid that had to go against at 5'5". When I was at 5'8", maybe 300 versus a guy that was 6'4", 310.
So is it just more of an intimidation factor then?
It's not intimidation. It's about pure body strength. I had to play a nose guard. I'm telling you, I'm 5'10", 300 versus a 6'4", 310 guy.
Running you over.
And he just beat you up the whole game. And that's the thing with Jordan Davis. He's going to be taller than most centers.
He's 6'6". He's 6'6".
6'7". I think he's like it's somewhere in that range. And it's not even intimidation. It's just pure.
It's hard to see over a guy that tall. Like my brother's 6'7". All right, my brother's 6'7". It's hard to see over him, especially he's sitting in the front seat and I'm sitting behind him. Come on, you can't see in front of that big dude. So it's like imagine being a quarterback when you got a 6'7" dude standing in front of you. Russell's coming after you. Come on. So it may be an intimidation factor on top of just overall talent. So I could see Anthony Rush, but I don't know what his upside is, and that's the difference.
He's not even the category. He's like he's just Dollar General to what. I'm sorry, Anthony Rush. You was good this year. Like you wasn't. I mean, like you were mediocre, but you did what he had to do. But I'm just saying, Jordan Davis will take that defense to another level. But would you say that Jordan Davis is the best player available, even if a player like Stingley or Hamilton falls to 8?
It just depends. Like we don't, like I said, we don't know the Falcons draft board. That's the thing about it, because we've heard little tidbits in these press conferences, like D&P's press conference, talking about a pass rusher, and then you get into what Terry said. I don't care what position he is, as long as he gets to the quarterback. When you hear stuff like that, it's like, okay, what are we going to go? But it seems like you're going to go somewhere in that front 7. I don't think we're going to go to the 4 guys outside. I think we're going to, 3, whatever you put it. I think we're going to go in that front 7. I don't think it's going to be a linebacker, though, even though I can see us going, like an outside linebacker to be an edge rusher.
Yeah.
But I can see it being that front 4. Well, really, and that's the thing about this, though. So your front 3, if Marlon Davidson is healthy, is Marlon Davidson, Jordan Davis, and Grady Jarrett. That's your front 3.
Or Kaminsky.
or Kaminsky or Jabo. I mean, not Jabo. Ogundeji. That
He's
gives
he's also
your NASCAR package is ridiculous. If you add Jordan Davis, you don't even have that Jordan Davis on the field. Even if you have him at nose in the NASCAR package, he's taking up at least 2-3 blockers because he's gonna come like, and then you got 4 or 5 guys coming right at you. Like, let's think about that. Like, you got 3 blockers on one person and only 2 guys on the outside, but you blitzing 5. Somebody's getting home. That's why I said that NASCAR package is ugly when you add Jordan Davis to it because he just eats blocks. He did it all year for Georgia. He just ate blocks.
Yeah, even if
who's getting home if that's the case? Who's going to be responsible for taking down the quarterback?
We got
Ogundunji.
Ogundeji. Yeah, I mean, you've seen these guys. I think Ogundeji has a great ceiling. I think people. I don't think
he's 6'5". He's huge. He's a huge pass rusher.
Well, let me go back to the 90s. When you go back and look at the team with the Giants with Lawrence Taylor was pretty much the smallest guy there. Had another guy, he was smaller, but he was small also. But for the most part, Lawrence Taylor was 6'3", 6'4", 230, 40 pounds, a small guy. And they just had a bunch of big, fat, slobby dudes standing in front of them and just kicking up. They were just taking up space. And they just allowed that one guy to do what he do, and that's get after the pass rush. That's the same thing that when you look at Pittsburgh with T.J. Watt. T.J. Watt, they got a bunch of big, fat, sloppy dudes up front. He's the smallest guy, and all they ask him to do is just get after the quarterback. So you got all these big guys. That's what you're doing. You're basically wearing guys down throughout the game, and then, all right, it gets the fourth quarter. This is where T.J. Watt, they done beat up the offensive line. They done beat up the tight ends. The quarterback is, he just wants to get the ball out of his hands, so he's not trying to really even, make the proper decision, especially if he's getting hit like that by a guy like T.J. Watt. So, you don't need many guys to be, that pass rush specialist. You really need one guy and a bunch of guys that are okay.
Look at Bryce Young in that national championship game. Bryce Young got pressured a total of 39 times. 39 times. And look at that pick six play. You see how fast he got rid of that ball and just threw it right in the air, threw it right in the Ringo. Yeah. He was tired of getting hit. And one of the guy at my job was like, bro, I've never seen Alabama just get the wheel beat out of them. They got the wheel beat out of them. They just gave up. They really just gave up. Like, they were just like, okay, you got the game. Take it away. When you get a defense that'll beat the will out of somebody because they tired of getting hit so hard, they tired of getting touched, especially a quarterback, he gonna throw the ball away. As soon as somebody get near him, he gonna throw the ball away because he don't want to get hit no more. And Bryce Young showed you, if you go back and watch that national championship game, he got hit more than he got hit. Alabama hasn't given up that many pressure since 2014. You know who the DC in Alabama was in 2014? Kirby Smart.
Kirby. Right.
That's the thing you got to think. You get the will beat out of you, you are going to be. You can't be like that dominant defense. Like we had Chuck Smith, we had those guys. Like they was just beating the will out of people. You were just getting the will beat out of you because you just couldn't. Your old line was getting blown up every other play because we done sent a blitz. Like it's stuff like that. It's stuff like you see like that. You're just like, God, he just eat. Like it's just like and you've never seen Alabama look like that. You've never seen a team look like. So imagine you get Georgia, you get the Falcons to be that team where teams just get to beat the will out of them. These stuff like that is scary because
that's basically what That's basically what the Bucks do on defense. Like if you look at it, they all you have to do for the most part, all they do is they move and Dominican Sue around the line, and let's say Vita Bay just stand in the middle and push the pocket. Everybody else in their semblances, if they're not getting home on the right or the left side, they'll move Shaq around, they'll move the other guy, I forget his name right now, but they'll move him around. But for the most part, all they do is play bully ball in the middle with Dominican Sue and Vita Bay. That's really what they do. So I think I'm not gonna say edge rusher is overrated, but having that main guy, in my opinion, is overrated. If you have solid depth, if you have three guys that are adequate at getting after the quarterback, and I'm not talking about Stephen Means, who's not doing absolutely nothing, but I'm talking about I'm talking about adequate defensive edge guys that can get after the quarterback. All right. And like let's just say you got three guys that can get 3 sacks. Three edge rushers that can get 3 sacks the entire year. That's 9 sacks right there from 3 guys. That's what one guy can give you.
Yeah. And you can get fascinated with sack numbers, especially when it comes to like everybody's talking about, oh well, Will Anderson had a better year than Jordan Davis. Everybody wanted to keep pulling that card. You look at what Jordan Davis' impact to the game is, besides Will Anderson, because Will Anderson got shut down. He got shut down. Well, I don't think everyone remembers. Will Anderson didn't get a sack after that first half. He didn't. He had a lot of pressures, but he didn't get a sack. But what did Georgia start doing? We ran to the other side, which is exposing him. Ran to the other side. We did QB rollouts. He couldn't get to the quarterback because he got 3 people hitting him. It's stuff like that where you can get around these edge rushers. Why do you think TJ Watt can go some games without a sack? Because he getting blocked. They sending 3 people in his head. It's certain guys you just can't block like that. Okay, we saw Grady get triple team. What was it, Detroit? We saw him get triple team versus Detroit. Any game, he is your only
all season long. He was getting triple team. Kyle Pitts, he
is your only weapon on defense. When how people see it is, okay, you send the blitz, we can pick up the blitz, but the only lineman we care about, the only D lineman we care about is Grady Jarrett. We don't care about nothing about Dante Fowler. We don't care nothing about Anthony Rush. We don't care about.
Didn't even care about Beans.
We don't have only down linemen they cared about every game with Grady Jarrett. You gotta realize he's gonna have to have a tag team partner. You can't just be like, oh well, we'll get a defensive lineman in like the 3rd or 4th round.
So you're saying you don't want to go? You know what I'm saying? Tyler Linderbaum in the first round. Let's say it's Tyler Linderbaum in the 1st round, but Leo in the 2nd round.
That can work. I'm okay.
I can go with that. I'm okay
with that as long as you address, like we said, best player available. But we have needs at every position. I love Linderbaum. I love Lindstrom's brother. If we get him in the later round,
I only like Lindstrom brother because he's Lindstrom brother.
No, Lindstrom brother is dope. I like seeing Lindstrom brother play, bro. I like BC. It's certain schools that I trust with linemen, and it's always them up north schools. I will always trust.
College ball out. They ball out.
Michigan, all those Big 12, all those. I'm not Big 12. Big 10, those schools. Notre Dame, those big linemen. Those guys. They come from great coaching line schools. Those guys, coaches been there for like 20 years. So I think if we get to the 2nd round, so 1st round we say we take Linderbaum. We get to the 2nd round, you gotta go get a D tackle. I think it's just automatic. You gotta go get a D tackle.
Like Wyatt.
I can see why. It's gotta be somebody big enough to take some pressure off the Grady. It doesn't have to be a nose for me. I just need somebody that can play that one technique.
I say we sign a player like Brandon Williams, or maybe sign a player like Calais.
I could see that.
Akeem Hicks.
Brandon had Akeem Hicks. He reminds
me sitting there, but you just don't know what Terry does. I think it all depends on what Terry. like we get a thing I like about the off season for NFL. You get your free agency before your draft, not like
Right.
NBA. You got to do the draft, then worry about free agency. So NFL, when we get to March and April, we're going to see what we go. I think that gives us a telltale sign about what.
This is a huge insight of who we can get.
Yeah, it's gonna be a huge like let's think about it. Y'all we say Stingley. We talking about Stingley and Hamilton. We went out just literally and got Deandre Alford. Let's think about that. We really
is he Stingley talent though? Like, you know what I'm saying?
We don't know. We just don't know what we don't know. Like Mike said, we don't know. Like, he had a great college career. We don't know when he gets to the league. Let's say we do go get, we go get Kyle Hamilton, or we go get, even though I believe in Jalen Hawkins, I believe Richie Grant. If we go get a safety, we go get those guys. We don't know how those guys are going to perform. That you might look at what was his name that went to Okuda. Okuda was literally went number 5, and now he's
cornerback in the media hyped him up though.
Yeah, he did get hyped up a lot. But look, but you think about like those guys, like it's some corners in AJ Terrell class that you're just like, oh, okay, those guys are good, but they're not AJ Terrell.
No.
So like it's stuff like that. Like let's say we do go get Stingley, and then I wanted Cisco last year. I wanted to get Andre Cisco out of Syracuse. We just, he had the back injury, and then nobody wanted to take him to like the later rounds. But I think when you go look at, we don't know. We can go off college career. Okay, college career, you were amazing. You were like the best corner in college. But then you get to the league, like AJ Terrell got cooked in that game versus Alabama. Everybody know he got cooked for that game versus Alabama. But look at him now.
For LSU?
Or LSU.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Got cooked versus LSU. And still came out, and now look, he's like the best corner in the league. One of the best corners in the league. So it does, that college stuff matters because that's your only live tape you'll get. Like, let's think about it. That's the only live tape. Unless you go to the Senior Bowl, that is your only live tape. And one thing I will tell everybody, watch the Senior Bowl week. All week. I mean, one-on-ones, everything. Watch that stuff because look at last year. We drafted half the draft was they played the Senior Bowl. So you gotta watch those, and now we're getting into this week is more of the. I think they're doing the we already got the staffs. We're gonna get the Jets and the Lions staff, but we're gonna get their offensive coordinators and stuff will be the head coach, or like running back coach will be the head coach. So you get new faces as head coaches. Like Dan Campbell.
It'll be interesting to see what happens too. It'll be interesting to see if they add anybody to the coaching staff, because that'll determine like what they're thinking and the adjustments they want to take. If they bring in a couple of specialists, yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting.
Yeah,
hey man, I appreciate you guys joining me, but man, I'm getting hungry. I've been up all freaking day. So man, hey, y'all keep doing your thing, Noah, DJ, TJ. I appreciate y'all, bro. I'm gonna holler at you guys. I'm gonna be in the chat, watch you guys, but your boy man Mike out, man.
All right,
all right, man. But yeah, but like I think you like we can see. I love college film. I love college tape. You can look at those college guys and be like, man, those guys are going to be elite when they get to the league. But then you see them pan out, and you're just like, ooh, you weren't the guy we thought you were. And I think that hurts a lot. I mean, let's think about that mentally for a kid coming straight out of college. Like, imagine if Kyle Pitts would have been bad this year, and how bad the media would have drugged him. How bad they would have.
Well, there's one thing I can say about that. It seems that everyone that they bring in, whether it be in the offseason or elsewhere, they always have a vision for them.
Yeah.
I don't see us getting a person and not being like, oh, well, you didn't work out to be what you want. It's like, no, like our coaching staff, like this year's coaching staff, because I don't want to base anything off of what happened 2 years ago for us, man. That's out the window, right?
Yeah.
So for this coaching staff, goodness gracious, fly. We gotta figure out that My goodness, the fly is distracting me. But yeah, everyone's got a vision, and everyone is trying to be like, okay, well, we're gonna have you this role for you,
I don't
and we're
know
gonna
what the
train you
vision.
to perfect this role.
I don't know what the vision is with Fab or Means or Harris or you know what I'm saying. I don't know what their vision is. What their vision was way
Now
off.
they're not perfect. Well, I will admit, but
I
at
think
least
bringing
they can
those
offer some
guys
experience.
the vets. I think that's like those were just the vet guys. Like they were cheap vet guys. Like we couldn't go. We couldn't go
Super.
Right.
So those were the cheaper options to who we could have went out there and got. And I mean, those guys are familiar in the system. They know DP system. They know the system like that. Like yeah, that's a good one. Baker's the main one you should really think about because Baker, even though he lost to my Georgia Bulldogs in the Rose Bowl, even still, he still was like, oh, you remember because Baker wasn't supposed to be number one quarterback. He really wasn't. I forgot what
he can't even pass. I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah, like Dwayne Haskins is another guy, had broke all them records at Ohio State. Then you got I don't know
Bush, Vince Young, who else you want to name? Mark Sanchez, Colt McCoy.
God.
Shoot. Let's go on. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of great
Aaron Murray. I'll go Georgia player. Aaron Murray still has the SEC receiving yards record. Nobody's still beating it and didn't pan out. AJ McCarron had great years. Blake Sims.
Yeah, he's still on our team.
Just SEC guys. I mean, like if you look at SEC guys, like what other quarterbacks do we have? Like you could think of in the SEC, like
DJ Shelby.
Yeah. Look, those guys had great college careers, and then they just didn't perform in the NFL. And it's not a bad.
We gotta look for the guys who want to come here and work. And I feel like Jordan Davis or Kyle Hamilton, they have that mentality because they said they're all about business. It's all about football. You know what I'm saying? And if Jordan Davis do come to the Falcons, I hope he does. He's a homegrown talent. I mean, like who wouldn't want a star Bulldog to come play for the Falcons? That would be awesome. You know what I'm saying?
I will say this though, like he said, I want a leader on the O line. That'd be Linderbaum. But if Nakobe Dean's sitting there at 8, and you want to, let's say we don't bring back Dion, or like we, I think
Dion staying because his contract. His contract
is ginormous, so we can't get rid of it. But let's just say you want to be like, I think you got us like Mykal Walker put that tweet out, which was kind of scary, talking about how he wanted the ball and he's not being able to get his opportunity and all of that. And I was just like, okay, this is we can't have another player like Ridley. So we gotta, you gotta figure this out.
Kyle Hamilton is from Atlanta.
Yeah, he's from Atlanta. Kyle Hamilton's from Atlanta. I forgot what school he went to.
He went to Brookhaven.
Oh yeah, so yeah, he's from I didn't know he went to Brookhaven.
Not Brookhaven, but he went to Maris.
Maris. Oh yeah, he went to a private school. Okay.
Yeah. So shit. I mean, yeah, shoot, man. Kyle Hamilton, come on home then. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, you can come home too. I mean, we trade Ridley for a first round pick, but I don't see that happening. But Jordan Davis, that would be good for Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it happening. You never know. We just don't know. Like, I think we gotta get closer to the off season.
Yeah, we don't know about the injuries on these college players too, because Kyle Hamilton has a history of it, and then Stingley has a history of injuries too.
Matt Corral really got. I don't even know what the injury was, but he played in his bowl game and wasn't supposed to be playing and got hurt. So
I think the most healthiest players that we see is Jordan Davis.
Yeah.
Like that's probably the safest pick is Evan Neal, Tyler Linderbaum, Jordan Davis. Shoot, basically all the offensive linemen, like even that NC State guy. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he's oh my god, like his run blocking is amazing. Wow, you know what I'm saying? I would love to have him at left guard, but Who else? And also the Texas Tech tackle guard.
I know you're talking. I can't think of his name. Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Kayvon Green.
Yeah. What do you think?
Like, mostly all offensive linemen that look like they're about to get picked in the first round. Like all the skill set players are going to get picked like later in the round. Like guys like Jameson Williams. Like I would definitely like to pick him up if his injury is not that serious down the line. You know what I'm saying? Like Kenneth Walker or Hall. So I see that skilled players being picked up later on in the round, but it's leaning towards looking like the safest pick might be the defensive lineman or O-lineman.
I think that's our safest pick. I think that I want to go to that. Would you think the Eagles would give the Falcons the Colts pick? It just depends on it. The thing with the Eagles is you already got 4 small receivers. Like you got Rieger who's small, you got Devontae Smith who's small, and they're just gonna add Ridley. Like that makes you an elite wide receiver class, but you got one of the smallest wide receiver classes that they're going to people are going to jam.
And that's coming from us that's saying that. Like
yeah.
Well, they don't even got a quarterback to throw to them yet. So
they want RPO. That's the thing. They want a lot of RPO. So unless Ridley's really don't like contact, so he ain't gonna run no slant or no bubble screen and get touched.
He's staying with the Falcons. He's safe at home.
You're gonna have to figure this out. Like you're just gonna have to, and it's gonna be weird for him. I think he just gotta figure. He's gonna have to figure it out.
We need to treat Ridley like family, guys. We treated him like he just stole, like he just came in and just slapped our grandma or something. Come on, y'all. We need to show him some love. Show him that, you know what I'm saying, this is his home here. He can definitely come on back and play one more season and prove it. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Don't prove me wrong, really. You won't make me look like a fool. You don't make me look like a fool, really.
I'm gonna head out, y'all. Thank you for having me on, Noah. Always nice meeting you, DJ. I'll probably be back on. Y'all know I'm on Feeler. I run Feeler. Forever I Love Atlanta Sports Podcast on YouTube. Me and Vlad would definitely be. I'm doing my Georgia show next Tuesday, y'all. It's gonna be a big one. It's gonna be a big one. I think I'm gonna shed real tears on live. So that because this has been I'm 20 and it's been 41 years of us not winning a national championship. So I've been
at 2 years old.
Yeah. So this is half.
I was not going to imagine that you'd be younger than me.
I feel like people always say that. Everybody says that. Everybody thinks I'm like 30. Like, I'm 20, man. I'm not 21 till July. So
man, because like I'm 22 and I felt like I was the youngest person, you know?
I'm the youngest. I'm the baby out of here. I'm the baby in all every AFN and
well, hey, let's just say that you got the earliest head start.
Yeah. But yeah, me and Vlad, I'm posting Friday evening. I wouldn't say night, but evening, like afternoonish. I'll be posting our 2022 wishes for Atlanta sports. As a group, we all have a little section in there talking. I think I'm just on top of the world, man.
Georgia, baby.
I can't do anything but be
bark.
I can't even think about the like I was at work and a guy came up to me and just was like, man, I had my Georgia shirt on. He was like, yeah, man, we did it. And like, I think it's just the pure joy of seeing everybody happy. This is Georgia.
Oh, yeah.
Like we need to go out there
to do that. Come on,
I'm gonna act a fool when the
I would cry. I would literally cry. I would cry and hug the TV and act like I was the one there and went into school with them.
Yeah, man. I cried. I cried like a baby when we won. I couldn't help it. Like it just came out. Watching Stetson cry, watching the team start crying, seeing Kirby finally hoist up the national championship trophy. Yeah. And I'm gonna end it like this. Kirby Smart will have at least 6 more in his next 6 years. He'll have a number 1 class, and we'll get another ring.
Let's
I
go.
think this is how it's gonna go at this point. Like, I don't
Jackson.
think he can't miss. Kirby can't miss at this point. If you look at NFL talent that he's put in the league, you look at NFL talent he's put in the league, the guys that are gonna go to the league this year, you're gonna look at the ring he just won. You're gonna look at, okay, if we repeat, definitely. Like, I don't think he can't lose. He just can't lose. He can't lose to Saban no more, man. I think this, and don't be surprised if the SEC makes us play Alabama next year in the regular season.
Jackson State,
Might
man.
be
I'm telling
surprised.
you. Jackson State.
Jackson State, man. Jackson State finna come in here and take everybody, man.
Oh, nigga, man. I'm telling y'all, Jackson State, y'all sleeping on them.
Jackson State, I mean, I'll put it like this: Dion has some pull because he's Dion. He's gonna have pull because he's Dion. Like, your parents watch Dion play football. Like, oh, you better, and then he's at a HBCU. That's another thing, man. Still,
like, though, you know what I'm saying? That's the right thing to do. Go ahead and go play for the
go play for a school that supports you. Like, I mean, that's what it is at this point. And I want more kids to go to HBCUs. I really do. I want kids to be able to go to HBCUs on scholarship and making that money come in. And I applaud Dion for doing what he did. Like, I mean, he flipped the number one recruit in the nation to go to Jackson State.
Right, the number one.
And you might not never see that again in the HBCU, but just that he did it.
No, he's gonna do it every year. Watch. He's gonna do it every year.
Surprised if the number one kid, you know, if he's gonna, a lot of HBCUs are gonna start going after these top guys now. I believe it. And I think it's gonna be a turnaround. It's gonna be lit. I mean, we have a lot of HBCU Hall of Famers already, but to see them, you know, to actually be back on the pinnacle, and you know, those, like, that's good football. I live in Tallahassee now, so I go see FAMU football games. Like, it's great. It's a great atmosphere. It's a great environment. Like, you got, like, I went to homecoming at FAMU, and it's like the streets just filled with, you know, people cooking food and selling FAMU gear and stuff. Like, it feels like a good, you know, good celebration and just having fun. So, you know, I can see kids start going to HBCUs. I'd enjoy it. I think that makes football fun again. Just to see some guys don't have to keep going to these big schools over and over again. Just like, he's gonna go to Alabama. We already know. He's gonna go to Georgia. Like, just throw in some flavor, and it makes you want to watch football on different channels. Like, you got to see these guys play now, because Jackson State's gonna have a national game just off of what they did.
Right.
They're gonna get, like, it's stuff like that brings attention to HBCUs and brings the spotlight to those guys to make sure they know, like, these schools exist and these schools matter. So,
hey, if Bishop Sycamore can be seen by people, you better believe Jackson State can.
Yeah, let's go. Come on.
FAMU's only loss last year was to Jackson State, and it was a 10-9 game.
Come on.
And people didn't even watch that game. So, like, let's think about that. Like, that was probably one of the best college football games of all, like, sitting of last year, and a lot of people watched it because it's not broadcast. And that's what Dion was so mad about. Like, you gotta at least broadcast yourself, man. Eddie George just went to Tennessee State as their head coach. So you're gonna see a lot of these guys go to these schools, like these former NFL players go to these schools as head coaches, and it's gonna bring attention to them. So, I mean, FAMU's got one of the best HBCU coaches. Like, he's like one of the best HBCU coaches, and people don't even know his name. So it's stuff like that. Like, Dion got beat in his bowl game by one of the best HBCU coaches of all time, and people didn't know his name. It's stuff like that. Like, you're getting to. I think we're going to see a lot more of these NFL athletes are going to get back and they're going to coach, and these schools are going to get them opportunities. I think Southern is going to be the school that's going to be crazy. I think Southern's going to be crazy. I think whoever Southern gets, it's going to be like a New Orleans player, and it's going to be crazy. I think they're going to get like I can just imagine seeing like a old New Orleans player going back to coach at Southern, and that'll just flip that program around. Like Grambling, all of those schools, everywhere there's an HBCU, you're going to see it, like in Atlanta, like whoever played in that city is going to be like Dion just happened to go to Jackson State. He could have went to FSU, which is the crazy part. Like, he could have been at Florida State. Florida State didn't give him a job, But you're gonna start seeing a lot of these guys. And I like how he said Morris Brown. That's I don't think Morris Brown will ever have a good football team. I'm sorry, but I went one of Morris Brown's like 70s quarterbacks, and that man, he's it's crazy. Like they haven't been good since then. Like, bro, and stuff like that.
Throw that rock. What?
Man, he was telling me the stories and stuff. I was just like, man, Morris Brown hasn't been relevant since you were at that school. Like that's crazy. So you gotta bring. I always preach bring back relevancy to HBCUs and make sure people like just get them on TV, even if it's on ESPN3, ESPN, on those channels. Just put them on TV, put them on something so people can see them and watch them. Like alumni are big, like especially the HBCUs, like the alumni programs and stuff are big. I've noticed that since I've been at FAMU. Like those are like big time, spenders. Like those guys graduate from those schools and go and be successful. But them, like the Players Club director graduated from FAMU. The producer, and he's going to produce the Oscars this year. But you would never know he went to FAMU because people don't promote it like that. Like you gotta keep these guys, you gotta keep these schools relevant. Never not catch up to Georgia. Yeah. Actually, I'm surprised. AJ knows Willie. That's funny. I didn't know you knew Willie. Yeah, Willie. Yeah, I've actually met them. Like I've met them. Like it's kind of crazy going around HBCUs and stuff. I think that's gonna be a trend now. I think these younger guys are going to start going to HBCUs. All these young black athletes, because they're going to start seeing these other guys do it. And it's a lot of trending stuff. Like, everybody was trying to go to Alabama. Everybody was trying to go to Oregon because of the uniforms. Everybody was trying to go to this school because of this and that. Everybody want to go to Georgia now because we won the national championship. Like, stuff like that. Like, it's stuff like that where you're going to see kids go to HBCUs, and that's going to be cool, man.
I think it's just like they flock to where the attention is going to go to.
Yeah. You're not going to, like the thing Deion said, we got 12 at his media day. We got 12 kids at our media day. These 12 kids should get drafted. They're all NFL talent level guys, but they don't get enough attention to get drafted. And that's the thing about it. Like, and that's enough. Like, Michael Strahan went to HBCU. Like, and he's one of the greatest players of all time. And, we might not.
Isn't Walter Payton from Jackson State too?
Yeah. Walter Payton went to HBCU. I'm saying, like, it's a lot of guys that, we would never know about if they didn't get a chance. Like, they might not have been, like, so, like, you'll get to see, and this NIL stuff is really going to get a lot of HBCUs back up.
I just hope the Falcons get back up, man.
Oh, man. The Falcons get back up, we going to be lit. I promise you. Look, I'm going to I cried 2 times in 69 days over Georgia sports.
You cried during the Braves too?
Yes. I cried like a baby. I cried like
the Braves win. I was like, yeah, man, that was a good win.
I think just being around, just being a Braves fan my whole life, just doing the chops since I was like 4, and remembering those games and stuff, like, bro. Like I was a Turner. I used to go to Turner Field a lot. My mom used to. We always used to go to Braves games at Turner Field, and like I got to go to the new stadium, and was just like, man, just to be able to watch that team live and watching that history. Like I saw Bobby. Yeah, like it's just scary. It was like, bro, it was surreal.
It was surreal, for real. I didn't think the Braves were going to pull it off.
It was so surreal. And then to win it in Houston, like, it was just so surreal. Like, and then Soler hitting the Soler home run just took it to the
Soler, bro. Like, what?
That was like the moment where you knew we won. It was just like, man, I don't know, man. It just felt so good.
That's why I want Atlanta to win another championship with the Falcons, man. If the Falcons win it, that's when I
need the Falcons to win. I love the Hawks, but I need my Falcons to win.
Yeah, I need the Falcons to win it. Like I need my dirty birds to do the dirty work, man. Come on, man.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. Thank y'all for having me on again. Thank you, Noah. Thank you everybody in the comments for engaging. Let's just, let's make HBCUs great again. Let's just make sure everybody I just I don't know, man. Go to Fila. Let's get that. Everybody go over there and subscribe. AFN and Fila gonna be doing a lot of joint stuff coming next football season. Really coming this off season. We're gonna be doing a lot of collabing. So you'll get to see a little bit all of our faces for all off season. Every trade acquisition, you'll probably see one of every trade, you'll see one of our faces on both channels. So I think that I always want to thank Noah. Thank you, everybody at AFN. Like I said, go to Fila. Let's get this. Let's blow Fila up, man. AFN always. We all work together. We always. I'm always gonna be posting stuff on there now. I'm trying this job been killing me, but we always gonna try to post stuff on there. But yeah, that's all I got to say. Thank you guys. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say the Falcons are gonna go and win the Super Bowl next year. Let's go.
Hey, I mean, everything else can carry the momentum of whatever everyone else in the city has done.
Yeah. I mean, if the
They
Hawks
say good things come in threes, right?
If the Hawks turn it around and they you know what I'm saying, straight line to the Super Bowl right there. Hopefully. We're collecting all the Infinity Stones right here, guys. This is all happening. All the Infinity Stones. We got the national championship right here. We got the World Series. We're gonna get the finals, the Super Bowl, and then what is the hockey?
Basketball. Well, soccer too.
So, we already got soccer. So there you go. We just need the Hawks and the Falcons to step it up here. Hawks need to step it up real bad, but okay, we're not gonna talk about that. The Falcons, though, yeah, I'm excited about this offseason.
Atlanta Knights.
So, all the Atlanta Knights. There you go. That's the women basketball, right? No.
Don't make me answer that question.
Who are the Atlanta Knights again? Hold on, let me check this out. We have a hockey team? No, we don't.
Come on, man. Even I remember that. I just didn't remember the name.
Thrasher. That was a threat. I thought we were the Thrashers, though. Well, I guess. Well, whatever. All I'm saying is the Falcons have an interesting offseason coming up. We need to get rid of some cap space first before we can get some players to come in. So that's why hopefully we could cut guys like Fowler. Like I'm sorry, but I don't want Fowler coming back at all. Like he has proven nothing when healthy. He has proven nothing when not healthy. I mean, like I don't understand. Like he's just on the field running tracks around linemen and just waving his hands in the air.
Like you just don't care.
Yeah, he's hoping trying to hit something. It's not working out. Means is like getting pancake every 3 plays and it doesn't work out. So
if he's not caught doing jumping jacks.
So it's gonna be an interesting off season for sure. I hope we do get a partner for Grady Jarrett because that dude he gets triple teamed, bro. Like Kyle Pitts gets triple team on by the corners. Like Grady gets it worse, man. This guy gets this guy's fighting for his life out there on the line. So I hope we do find a partner. I don't know, Jordan Davis.
That makes it all the more impressive when you realize that Grady Jarrett and Aaron Donald, they share the same number of tackles this past season.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, they both have 38 tackles.
Oh. See, if we bring in a player like Jordan Davis, do you see him being like a player like Aaron Donald?
Who, Grady?
No, Jordan Davis.
Jordan Davis becoming the next Donald?
Aaron Donald, yeah.
That's a bit of a weird comparison there.
Or do we say he's like a true nose guard or nose tackle, and like a Vince Wilfork or like what I'm saying, Albert Hainsworth?
He's probably gonna fit in that range. And like back in the earlier times from like the Vikings when they had the two Williams and Pat and Kevin.
Oh yeah.
Williams wall, Like
I remember that.
I'm imagining
I
that can
remember
happen.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was a good. That was a good
So,
table. Yeah.
So
That
that's
would
kind of
be.
the upside for them. Or even like from Jacksonville a while back, John Henderson and Marcus Stroud.
Oh yeah. Or like Nagata and what's his name?
Ooh,
Yeah.
from Baltimore. Haloti
Yeah.
Nada.
Oh yeah.
Who else was up in there?
There you go. That was a championship team right there too. It's just
Right.
Deion Jones needs to start making his tackles, right, guys? Right. But no, seriously, Deion Jones, make your tackle, please. Please make your tackles. Like, we want to keep you here. We want to keep you, Deion. You're a great, like, you do great in coverage. Not so great this year, but you know what I'm saying. You're learning a new system, but
He's learning a new position as well. So
yeah, was he learning a new position?
yeah, they switched with Foyer.
Oh yeah. Okay. So it's a new system for all players. So
Yeah, I want to bring this one up. A quick question: anyone invested in the playoffs? Anyone you want to see lose?
I want to see the Packers lose. I want to see the Cowboys
Packers,
lose.
really?
Yeah, I'm in Wisconsin. I
really?
can't stand the Packer fans, the fan base. They're. I want to see them. I want to see them lose so they can waste a year with Rodgers and Rodgers leaves next year, so the Packers don't have anything.
Or to make it hurt even more, they're going to lose again in the championship game.
Because they made me hurt when they won the playoff game and won the Super Bowl. So you know what I'm saying, they hold over my head. So you know what I'm saying. Let's hold.
Well, I mean, recently we've had the last laugh against them when it comes to the playoff matchups, but we're just not there to consistently have that battle.
I want to see the Bills go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I don't want to see the Chiefs. I don't want to see the Chiefs. I don't want to see the Titans. I definitely don't want to see the Titans. I definitely don't want to see the Titans in the freaking Super Bowl. Get out of here. I would. Oh my God.
Well, I mean, they get the bye week right now. They're likely going to have Derrick Henry back.
Whoever's saying the Titans are traitors. Oh my God. Traitors. So you're saying we trying to get a worser second round draft pick?
Yeah, that is kind of true because they do help us with the draft positioning with the second round.
See?
Yeah, you know what? Just get one and done, Titans. That'll be fine, right? Do yourself a favor.
Yeah, just go ahead and lose this playoff game, man.
Well, they're not playing now, but
dude,
whoever they face.
Crazy because Derrick Henry is coming back too. If Julio wasn't even on the Titans, I would be like, oh yeah, I would love to see the Titans in the Super Bowl. When Julio's in the fucking Titans, I'm like, no, no, like that would hurt. That would hurt me more than anything. He goes out there and balls out there in the Super Bowl too, and oh God, no, please no. Please, no.
He hasn't balled out since week 2. All right,
that's because he's probably saving himself for the playoffs, man.
Well, yeah. Go ahead and save yourself up so you can have your only touchdown against Houston.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I feel like if I don't want the Titans to go to the Super Bowl, man. That's just that would leave a salty taste in my mouth, I would say.
I mean, how have we not mentioned about Tampa Bay? I don't want to see them repeat either. But it's like they stay having the easiest road.
But they have injuries though. They have injuries though.
Bro, they're up against the Eagles. We're kind of even worse.
Oh yeah, they gotta go against Mishnu. Hasn't Mishnu been doing good against the Bucs though? I think no. Let me not say anything about that. But yeah.
I was just gonna say. I mean, and then with the Niners versus Cowboys, the lesser of the two evils might be Dallas, unfortunately.
No, I want Dallas to lose because I'm friends with the Cowboys, man. I don't want to hear it anymore.
Hey, I'm in California, and I would not like it at all if
the 49ers.
San Francisco won.
Yeah.
Good God.
Why can't the Falcons be in the freaking playoffs, man. Darn it, darn
Oh, we'll
you,
get them next year.
KJ Sharp, darn you. Matt Hennessy and Caleb McGarry. Oh, God. We're in the chances at left and right. Just,
Uh,
just when you think things go right, like the Bills game where we're up by 1 by halftime, and then it just went all the shits after they just start running the ball on us.
yeah.
It's crazy.
But like like you're saying, like we got a young team, and we got a great coaching staff too. So it's like these guys can be quick learners. These guys can be quickly developed, which I really like.
Graham rated quite high on PFF last game actually. So
Yeah, I was kind of surprised about that.
Interesting to find out.
So one last thing before we go, because I'm probably only have about like 15 more minutes. So DJ sent me his mock draft that he did. I have about 2 mock drafts that I did. One was just based off of best player available. Barring whatever we talked about in the first round, I just want to see about like where our thinking is as far as the positions, not necessarily the players yet, but just rather the positions that got selected where, right? So here's the first one. DJ, you take it away. What was in your mind when you made this first draft? By the way, if you can't see it, it's a bit blurry, so I'm going to give you the rundown. He got Evan Neal, DeMarvin Leal, Breece Hall. So we got tackle, edge rusher, running back. We got Darian Kendrick, so that's a corner. Alec Lindstrom. We got DJ Dale, Tanner Mckee, and then Tyler Davis, who sounds way too eerily similar to Tyler Davison. So I already don't like him.
What about Jordan Davis? You know what I'm saying? It's similar to Jordan Davis?
No. It ain't the Davis. It's the Tyler Davis.
Tyler Davis. Yeah. I hope we get rid of him. But yeah, Evan Neal, he like this. Like I said, this is a mock draft, so you gotta. I like seeing Evan Neal fall. I was surprised, so I definitely had to take Evan Neal because he held his ground during the championship game. Like I was just watching Neal and I was watching Davis. Davis half the time during the game was jogging around the field. Like yes, he was like there run stopping, he was stopping plays, you know what I'm saying? But most of the time this dude was jogging, and I was just like, oh man, like maybe athleticism and just like fatigue and just like his motor isn't there yet. But watching Evan Neal, like he's NFL ready. This guy 6'6", can plug him in the line right away, protect Matt Ryan. Like Matt Ryan doesn't have it all day in the pocket. He has all day in the pocket. And then when I saw DeMarvin Leo fall to the second round, that was very, very surprising. I had to take Leo right away, man. That's a Cameron Jordan type player right there. And I think you team him up with Grady Jarrett, like that's pure pass rushing right there, guys. I'm telling y'all. And I saw earlier someone saying that Leo is not like his inside pressure is not that great. I don't watch. I'm not gonna lie. I don't watch Leo. I'm going off base of the NFL draft analysts and what they're saying. But I'm just saying, like what I'm looking at from his tapes and his highlight tapes, I would take Leo in the second round over whoever was left. Breece Hall, man, it was either him or Spiller. I want to take a running back, a skill player, man. We need a running back. Mike Davis is not the answer, and Allison is not the answer either. And adding Breece Hall would definitely boost our offense quite high, especially with Evan Neal blocking for him. Dude, Evan Neal with Jalen Mayfield blocking at the same time. Jalen Mayfield is a really great run blocker. Like,
right.
He's a horrible pass protector, but his run blocking is actually pretty good. So actually Evan Neal will play right tackle. So him and Lindstrom at the same time, bro. What? Give me that all day with Breece Hall. Like, I would definitely take that. Kendrick, you know what I'm saying? I took him, Georgia boy. You know what I'm saying? got that pick in the championship game. Had to take him because, you know what I'm saying, he could definitely play inside or outside. Whatever Dean Pease wants him to play, he could definitely fill in the role of the corner needs we have right now. Lindstrom brother, because, you know, his Lindstrom brother. Like I said, we only like him because of his last name. That's just it. I just picked him. We do need a center. I'm praying to God we pick up Ben Jones in free agency. I pray on everything because it's possible because it could be like last time with Alex Mack when we picked up Alex Mack because Ben Jones knows Arthur Smith's system. Like, you know what I'm saying?
My only concern with that is because when we got Alex Mack from Cleveland, what was his age there? And then what would be Ben Jones's age when he lines up for us? If he were.
That's why
Ben Jones is like 33 years old. So we need a long-term solution there regardless. So having Alec Lindstrom behind him.
He would be like a Andy Levitre. Like when we had him for like 2 years or 3 years. You know what I'm saying? Just come and bring him in for 2 or 3 years. You know what I'm saying? I think he still has a lot of. I think he's a lot better than Matt Hennessy. I'll tell you that. Yeah. I mean, cross my finger. Hopefully, I don't know. Ben Jones. He just knows Arthur Smith's system, and he ran it pretty well. He blocked for Derrick Henry, and he ran for 2,000 yards. So you got to give it up to the offensive line. And like I said, Lindstrom was picked up for just because of his last name. DJ Dale, you know what I'm saying? We need those nose tackles, man. We need some, you know what I'm saying, beef on the line. Got to add the beef on the line, you know what I'm saying? So we already got Graham and Davidson and Grady.
Rush and Pennell.
And Leo. So might as well add some beef on the line, guys. Tanner Mckee, you know what I'm saying? Just have a quarterback on the bench, learn from Matt Ryan, cheaper option. I don't know who the hell Tanner Mckee is. I just picked him up. But I feel like Felipe Franks, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna use him like Taysom Hill type package, like put him as tight end, go out there, catch up pass for like 10 yards.
Well, he was doing that early on in the season.
But then like all the fans freaked out and were just like, "Oh my God, why the heck are we having Felipe Franks as a tight end?" I was like, dude, it's called trick play. Like, chill out. They're trying to test something.
Well, I think what got me is that he would be on the field and then rarely anything would happen on his side or would happen involving him.
That's because Matt Ryan couldn't get the ball he couldn't get the ball out of his hand before getting sacked or pressured. Before the play could even set up. And then Tyler Davis, I don't know who Tyler Davis is, but like I said, beef on the line. Beef on the line, yo. Beef on the line. Just adding the beef on the line. So I'm pretty. I pray to God that Neil's, or I don't know. I just hope that they fall like how they fell right here. A lot of players might fall. A lot of players.
Yeah, I mean, there's gonna be other teams that are gonna value other things too.
So we could see a totally different draft, but I feel like we might go trenches because Arthur Smith didn't he go on a radio station talking about the Georgia and Alabama game, saying that like that the battle in the trenches like it was the best thing he's seen in football in a while?
Yeah, I think he did say something like that.
So you know what I'm saying? He's looking at the guys. He's like, hey, look, man, I seen Jordan Davis. I'm looking at him too. So who knows?
Mm-hmm. So we got an approval from Vlad. Bridget's already requesting to see mine. So this was mine.
Dang, you got
this was mine based off of best player available.
You got a C for Tyler?
I don't know why. Every time I picked him, he always got like a C grade.
Is a C rated for him?
And I was like, what the heck?
He's like literally probably like top 5 player in the draft right now.
But yeah, apparently he's not good enough, right? So yeah, when I saw him there, I was like, okay, well, hey, I've heard some really great things about him. I've seen some tape on him. Really like what I saw from him. I think, you know, like what TJ was saying earlier, like he's He's got all the qualities of a bruiser. He's got every trait that we need for our offense, which is great, right?
Yep.
Next thing, the top person on the board for me, I didn't have any emotion to this, right? But, call it weird, but Chris Olave was there, and this is my thing. I was like, I didn't want to do this, but I wanted to do it based off of,
Best player available.
Right, and that's who was there.
That's not a bad pick. That's not a bad pick.
It's not, because wide receiver is a need for us, and I like some things about him as well. Brees Hall, hey, we both shared that. But then Logan Hall from Houston, the defensive lineman up there, I wanted to consider that. Then we got Darian Beavers, linebacker from Cincinnati. Right? We got Jack Jones, Arizona State, Kevin Austin Jr. from Notre Dame, Xavier Thomas from Clemson, and then that was about it for me. So my other one, this is the one I kind of put more thought into.
This is what I don't get. George Karlaftis. How you say it? Karlaftis. What'd you think about him?
I haven't seen enough of him yet. So, but I mean, we got Vlad here, we got Alex here. They do a lot more film right now for me, so they might have an opinion on that. Maybe that can be coming up. But hey, with the draft grade being a B- for him, that's kind of surprising. But I wanted to go with double edge, and that was my biggest concern, is that getting a top guy for one side and then getting another great guy for the other side. It also kind of fits because we always get a name that we just have a hard time saying. So I think that works for the second round there. And then David Bell, wide receiver from Purdue.
What a steal.
So then we got Brees Hall again, but later on in the draft. Then we got Alex Lindstrom again. How's it going, buddy? I don't know why you have a C+ in your grade, but it is what it is. Then we got another defensive lineman from Matthew Butler, another fifth round D lineman from Tennessee. What a shocker, right? Then we got Ben Brown. So if you want a Ben on the offensive line, there you go. There's a Brown.
Brown, though.
Guard from Mississippi.
Jamon Brown.
Then last pick, I've got another corner for depth, and Jermaine Waller from Virginia Tech.
Terry should hire you, man.
Well, again, this is just a mock draft, and there's only so much that you can invest when it comes to stuff like this.
Well, I just hope we pick up some really good guys in free agency first, man. And then that determines what we do in the draft.
All right. An opinion about Karlaftis was from AJ Evans, actually. Karlaftis is not a monster sack guy, but he is a motor guy, can bull rush a mountain, and can be a darn good pressure and run stopper. That would be good for us because, like Dean Pease was saying, he wants pressure people.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, that could be the guy then. I don't know. Hey, they be surprising us in the draft like Chris Lindstrom. That was surprising.
Well, that was a different regime too. So.
Would you love to have Christian? I would love to have his brother on the team. His brother on the team, hell yeah.
Yeah, we both had the same idea.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to reach for him just because of his last name. Like,
true.
You know what I'm saying? I just it sounds like Alex Lindstrom is a good center. He just doesn't grade as well as Tyler Linderbaum. Like, if I was gonna go center, I'm just gonna go Tyler Linderbaum. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I mean, this draft, we can't go with no wrong answers. I say we can't go wrong. There's no wrong answers in this draft because we can go either way, and one of these players is going to produce. Like, I feel like this is a really deep draft for first round talent.
That's good to know. Well, guys, that's we're gonna be wrapping up the show because we normally go around 2 hours as it is. So
I would grade Arthur Smith's season. I would give it a C+. C+.
Yeah, I share the same thing.
I would give it a C+, and I would give Terry Font his dues. I would give him a C+ as well. Because
I might give him a B-.
No,
Close
because
to a B, actually.
Julio. He had to do it. He had to pull the trigger, and I was like, nope. Grade down.
Well, I don't think that was fully his job because I don't think he got the job with that in mind to do.
Man, well, he should have been like, hey, Julio, man, you gotta stay, bro. You can't, no, bro, like you can't do this to us.
And then he gets held, and then he holds himself out because of a contract dispute, just like a couple of other players have done in the past.
Yeah.
Well,
okay, all right, fuck Julio, we get it. We need Calvin Ridley. We need to get Calvin Ridley back and say, hey, man, you are more than football.
Whatever that means.
We love you, Calvin Ridley. You are loved, my guy. But no, if we I honestly I just say keep Ridley. He has the connection with Matt Ryan. Like we bring in a new guy in, he has to build a new connection.
But does he have the connection with us now? Like,
yeah. Oh, yeah. Come on, man. I'm just saying. When he is connected,
it ain't me only. I mean, take a look.
Saying, when he is connected, he's connected, man. He's connected to the team, man. He's in sync. But you know what I'm saying? Sometimes life happens, guys. You know what I'm saying? Life just happens. You just want to disconnect. Luckily, he did it. You know what I'm saying? He was just, getting off of social media and just trying to get his mind right, I guess. So Dave Chappelle did the same thing. Why are we not mad at Dave Chappelle for going off the face of earth and not giving us an update?
Because Dave Chappelle's not a wide receiver for the Falcons.
For 3 years.
Dave Chappelle is not a number one target for Atlanta.
Dave Chappelle's my number one target for comedy.
What kind of comparison is that?
Look, man, he left, and there's supposed to be a third season. He didn't come back, all right? There was supposed to be a third season of Dave Chappelle. He didn't come back. I'm mad. I needed his laughter, his comedy.
All right, well.
I'm just saying, if really comes back, trade it. It's whatever. Benefit of the team, either way. It's okay. All right. Everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to be all right.
For the betterment of the team. That's what we're going with.
Yeah, for the betterment of the
team. All these moves are going to be for the betterment of the team. We're no nonsense. Not going to have much emotion involved when it comes to these business decisions.
No, sir.
Because at the end of the day, it's a business, man.
It's a business. All
right, guys.
We're winning a championship.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in, DJ.
Yes, sir.
So, you might see more of us, and we might get some more people in order to join us as well. That was kind of a surprise for TJ and Mike to show up for us, but hey, we'll see who else can hop on. So, all right, guys.
Have a good night.